Recording in progress.
Running a little behind today, but we are rescheduled for a special session of the Harney County Court today to address one agenda item. Before we get going, as customary, if you'll stand and join me for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and for the record, it is February 22nd, Thursday, February 22nd at 10:04 a.m. And just for the record, yesterday, the power went out for our regularly scheduled county court session yesterday and had to cancel. Everything else from that agenda has been moved to the March 4th agenda. But we have one time sensitive item that we need to take care of, and that is a ballot measure amending Harney County ordinance. It's 2021-05, and we're not rescinding the ordinance, but we're amending it to relieve the requirement for mandatory 3 times a year meetings to discuss moving the Oregon border, the conversation of it. What we are proposing in that amendment is to still have those discussions when needed, but not have to have them regularly scheduled throughout the year. One of those scheduled just happens to hit, was it right before Thanksgiving?
Right.
Yeah, and the scheduling of it just is not very conducive to good business, so we still want to entertain the ability to have those conversations in regular county court sessions. And yeah, have those discussions. So the ballot measure, the ballot title is amending ordinance 2021-05 requiring meetings to discuss moving Oregon and Idaho border. And the question will be, should ordinance 2021-05 be amended to make moving the Oregon-Idaho border a topic discussed at regular county court meetings? A summary of it: approval of this measure would amend ordinance 2021-05 to remove the requirement that Harney County Court hold 3 annual meetings for the exclusive purpose of discussing moving the Oregon-Idaho border, and make that topic an agenda item to be discussed during regularly scheduled county court meetings, if and when requested by members of the public. A little history: in November of 2021, the electors of Harney County passed Harney County Initiative Measure 13-18, requiring regularly scheduled meetings to discuss the topic of moving the Oregon-Idaho border. According to ordinance 2021-5, in section 3, the mandatory regularly scheduled meetings be held on the 4th Wednesday of every November, March, and July, which that falls Wednesday right before Thanksgiving, to discuss how to promote the interests of Harney County in any negotiations regarding relocations of the state borders. So the time sensitiveness of this is that we had to have it approved by the county court so that it would make the ballot for this coming general election, which I believe the deadline is March 2nd. And we wouldn't have another county court session prior to that. So that's why we're here today.
So for clarification, we're putting this ballot question on the ballot so that we can get some public input that way, whether they're fine with not requiring those specific meetings anymore or not. And if the public still wants to have those meetings, of course, we'll still have them. But I believe we'll actually have more participation for people to have them when we need them, when they want them. And as we can do with any county court meeting, we can occasionally have one in the evening if we need to, if it's that kind of a thing. So, and the first couple of meetings, we had people and there was discussion and there was questions they wanted answered that we made sure our legislators knew about, et cetera. But the last several has, really only had the gentleman, Mike McCarter, who who is involved with a group that works on this issue, give us an update and very little local comments or questions. And there's nothing for the county court itself to do additionally. So we're happy to entertain it, but you know, let's see what the people say.
And there was, I've heard a little bit myself, confusion on the purpose of this ballot measure initially, or this ordinance initially when it was created. The people of Harney County were not voting to create an ordinance to move the border, but rather an ordinance to facilitate the conversation.
And those dates were not, we didn't get to have any input into those dates. Whoever went ahead and applied and proposed, I forget the right term, for submitting it through the system, through the clerk's office to get it put on the ballot. That was their choice of those dates. And again, I don't know why those dates, but they aren't working too well.
So, yes, it's a question that we'll ask the electors of Harney County. A no vote will require the regularly scheduled meetings continue to be held annually in March, July, and November for the exclusive purpose of discussing the topic of moving the Oregon-Idaho border. A yes vote will remove the requirement that regularly scheduled meetings be held and permit discussion of the topic of moving the Oregon-Idaho border to occur during regularly scheduled Harney County court meetings if and when requested by members of the public. So with that approval, yes or no, from the electors of Harney County, then we will pursue to amend ordinance 2021-05 to reflect, or not amend, depending on what it's a no vote.
So today, did you have more discussion at this?
No, at any time, if we're done discussing, I'm entertain a motion.
I would move to approve ballot title amending ordinance 2021-05 requiring meetings to discuss moving Oregon-Idaho border with the question that will pose onto the ballot. I move to approve this so it can move forward.
And I will second. For the record, you say right off the bat, but for the record, Commissioner Shellman is absent, is excused absence. She was not planning on being here yesterday either, so she's an excused absence. So it's just Commissioner Doro and myself, but I second the motion. And then I ask for any further discussion on the topic. And with no further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. And that is all the business that I had on this agenda. We only have one member of the public. Sir, did you want to, it's kind of out of order, but did you have anything, public comment?
No.
No, okay. Just wanted to make sure before I close things down. Any other discussion for the good of the order?
No, maybe just mention that there's a public hearing tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, for future scheduled meetings, we do have a public hearing tomorrow at 2 p.m. Here in County Court to hear the build design topic for the fairgrounds and their event center building process. And then also just as a reminder too, that our next county court will be on March 4th. We rescheduled that week because of conflicts. So our next regularly scheduled county court will be on March 4th at the same time, 10 o'clock, 9:30 for accounts payable and 10 o'clock for general session.
And I fixed the agenda on my date.
Excuse me?
I fixed the date.
You did? Okay. Thank you. All right, if there's no other business, we shall stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.